Hello, everyone. Julian here from HealthyNuliving.net. We're going to be talking about New Brain Plus formula and one of the particular ingredients, and that ingredient is glutamine. And the question I'm asking is glutamine the dark horse of the New Brain Plus formula? What is New Brain Plus formula? First of all, it's something to help you with your cognitive, mental clarity, attention, focus. It's a brain boosting compound and it's full of excellent, high quality compounds that we call nootropics. So nootropic is, you could call it a smart drug, but I don't like that term. Anyway, um, so inside of this, as I said, inside of New Brain Plus formula, we have L-Glutamine. It's one of the key ingredients. And there are several studies that claim that L-Glutamine can help improve attentiveness, focus, mental sharpness, cognitive recall, and even mood. And I've got links to studies down below. Now, basically, L-Glutamine, it's an essential amino acid that is involved in the body's production of neurotransmitters in the brain, particularly glutamate and GABA. Now, out of all of the body's amino acids, glutamine is the most prevalent one occurring in the body. Scientists believe that it plays a key part in many important bodily processes, particular emphasis on those processes inside the brain. There are many types, but L-glutamine seems to be the most important one for the brain. The system for processing amino acid in the body is this particular amino acid is known as the glutamine system. Scientists believe it underlies many other key functions, including muscular, you know, growth, regulation of pH levels in the urinary and kidney system, providing energy for food synthesis in the gut, and fuel for your white blood cells, which underpin our immune system. Glutamine also allows the organs to synthesize nitrogen and glucose. And when it comes to the brain, glutamine drives the creation of important neurotransmitters and the production of a key antioxidant known as glutathione. Antioxidants stop inflammation, okay, and that's very important. In the past, L-glutamine has been very popular among athletes and bodybuilders. That was the first thing people noticed about it, due to its reported effects on muscle recovery and human growth hormone production. I've put a study there for that. Athletes taking glutamine started to notice that they were thinking a lot faster, a lot clearer. They could get more work done. And then that started to encourage scientists to investigate this, like what's going on? Does this do something else? Does it help with the brain? And we're going to evaluate some of that evidence down below. This healthy new living's key product, New Brain Plus, does contain L-glutamine. So, quick summary of the possible brain boosting effects of L-glutamine. L-glutamine is a prerequisite to the stimulatory neurotransmitter glutamate and also aspartate, as well as an important neurotransmitter called gamma aminobutyric acid. Now, together, these neurotransmitters are strongly implicated in mental sharpness, sustained focus, mental recall, and overall mental affect. Cortex inflammation, so brain inflammation. The body's immune system draws heavily on the resources provided by fueling the production of antibodies which fight infection and inflammation. Did you know our body produces a lot of ammonia? And ammonia is very toxic, and L-glutamine allows the brain to detoxify this ammonia and convert it into inert waste substance, which we can expel out through the body. And if you don't have sufficient L-glutamine in your brain, you can accumulate problematic levels of this toxic ammonia. Cortisol synthesis. So when we're under stress, cortisol builds up in the body and in the brain, and it causes the cells to operate suboptimally. L-glutamate is like a power booster for the cells, and it allows them to process the excess cortisol and eliminate it. Get that out of there. From there, the brain can and body can resume optimal performance. If you've got a stressful life at times, you'll probably be happy to hear that this product by Healthy New Living does contain this L-glutamine. All right, Healthy New Living New Brain Plus formula L-Glutamine, it has it in there. Why? Here's a quick summary. The brain needs glutamate, and L-Glutamine, as I said, is a precursor to glutamate production. What's a precursor? Well, basically, it's a chemical compound that precedes or comes before another. So in this sense, glutamate can be viewed as the successor compound to L-Glutamine. The body needs glutamate, but cannot produce it without L-Glutamine. Broadly speaking, the brain has two types of cells, and we've got presynaptic cells and postsynaptic cells. Glutamate is released from the presynaptic cells into the brain. When it's released, the glutamate has what's known as an excitatory effect. This simply means that it increases the chances of the synapse firing, and when your synapses are firing, you feel more alert and close to peak performance. This sounds great, right? But what if the glutamate causes our synapses to be overexcited? Well, that would be bad and could be toxic. Guess how to avoid that? You guessed it, you need adequate resources of L-glutamine. So L-glutamine is gonna bring you up to where you need to be, and it will bring you down. If you don't have enough, that process will be out of whack. So it's kind of like driving a race car. You can go fast, but you need to be able to pump the brakes, and that's why we need the L-glutamine. It does both things, okay? So it's in charge of both of those processes, and that's why you might want to be looking at taking New Brain Plus formula. Okay, how's the brain going to use it? So basically, having a balanced brain. You remember when I said that the brain needs glutamate to function at optimal level? Well, the only way the brain can get hold of glutamate is by converting L-glutamine. It's essential to the whole process, so it's important. It's so important that the body uses nearly all of the fuel that it sends up to the brain just to keep this process functioning smoothly. So, your brain has glucose for energy, and 80% of that glucose gets used to process this L-glutamine. What happens if the process breaks down? It's believed that many serious disorders are a result of the failure of this process in the brain. Things like depression, anxiety, even substance addiction are suspected to be driven at least in part by a failure in this neurological process. I've linked to a study. I just want to make it clear I'm not suggesting New Brain Plus can in any way treat these issues, okay? I'm talking about the glutamate-glutamine process in the brain. If you have any of these symptoms, you should consult a doctor. All right, so how will I potentially feel? So knowing what we know on the science of this L-glutamine, which is inside of New Brain Plus formula, have you ever been through a really bad patch in your life when you are under more stress than usual? And that could be physical, like you could have a serious illness, or emotional. We all know what that involves. And research shows that glutamine levels massively get depleted during such episodes. So taking a high quality supplement that contains L-glutamine can help restore your glutamate levels and help your brain recover. And that's why it's so important. And the other thing, the science that we've talked about seems to suggest that a good source of L-glutamine can give you a better mood, give you more mental and physical energy, and reduce fatigue. Remember the athletes. That's why the athletes were taking it, for the physical fatigue, but also mental fatigue as well. And people who feel good and at peace and content, they usually have balanced amounts of L-glutamine in the brain. The other evidence I talked about, things like cravings for junk food and alcohol. There's a study that I linked to in my blog where it mentions that decreases if you have the right amount of L-glutamine in your brain. You can also improve your recovery from exercise and just feel energetic overall. Best of all, your brain will feel switched on in terms of clarity, processing speed, memory, and even creativity. All right, so just want to make it clear that I'm talking about the ingredients of New Brain Plus formula. L-glutamine, New Brain Plus formula contains it. All right, so that's my discussion of another key ingredient of the New Brain Plus formula. There's more info on the blog, HealthyNuliving.net. Otherwise, I'll see you on another video very soon.